Not. And we're live. Hello. Welcome for those joining us live and for those coming to the replay. I feel like I know an especially large amount of people around the world who are either snowed in or flooded in or climate changed in. So if you're joining us, welcome, and maybe better to stay inside and watch us than go outside at the moment. So my name is Kristen Palana. And I'm with two fellow members of the Artovida collective I'm going to introduce just now. So Amy Diener, who I think she shows up to the left of me on my screen, but she may be in a different order on yours, but she's waving at you. You see her beautiful dot painting in the background. So Amy is an American artist based in Bangkok, from Bangkok, Thailand, for the geographically challenged, artist from New York, specializing in colorful dot paintings. Amy has a long history of battling OCD and uses art as a coping mechanism and an outlet to spread mental health awareness in Asia. Her areas of expertise are in original paintings, hand-painted jewelry, which I love, brand collaborations, and art workshops. So welcome, Amy. And Troy Wiley, who is this way of my box anyway, he is the founder of Artovida Collective. He's a re-emerged analog artist / painter, and the founder of Artovida Collective, which is a socially conscious business that partners with artists around the world. And my name is Kristen Palana, and I am an American and Portuguese interdisciplinary artist, an associate professor of digital media with 20 plus years of experience, which makes me sound really old, and teaching university students on 4 continents, and I'm a design and communications consultant for UN organizations, and I'm based in Malawi since 2019. And this year, I've been experimenting with making art that does not require electricity to make or to see. So welcome, everybody. And I'm going to start already with a question. So this is basically an Ask Us Anything. We have been experimenting with many different tools and technologies over the past year and more. And some of us are better at other things. So some of those things include virtual reality, art galleries, NFTs, Amazon shops, print-on-demand sites, freelancing, everything, basically teaching. So I know that you might be coming to us from different parts of the world. You may have different kinds of questions, but we invite all of them. You can either ask us live in the comments, or you can also ask us if you want to come in and ask on video. So I'm going to turn over. I guess we'll start with Troy, because maybe you can just tell us a little bit about Artovida Collective and a little bit more about your background and what you're doing and what puzzles are you trying to solve this year?
Wow, that's a big question. Thank you, Kristen. So, yeah, the Artovida was founded in 2015, and I had this vision of. I've always been a fan of the arts. In fact, going way back when I was in my senior year in high school, I was an advanced art student, and then went into college and signed up for an art class and couldn't even afford the art supplies, so I ended up dropping the class and ended up a psychology major, and then ended up graduating with a business degree. And so in a kind of an interesting way, I've kind of come full circle, and I'm using all of this skills, psychology and art and business to actually create this company called Artovida, and the tagline was a partnership with artists around the world. And so we sell reusable, sustainable products like neoprene lunch bags and reusable sandwich bags and beeswax food wraps and wine totes, etc. But I wanted to go beyond that and actually put some really cool artist designs and illustrations and artwork on these products, and really make it feel like it's accessible art to everybody, instead of this incredible art that's stuck in somebody's living room on the wall that it's not accessible, that nobody can see. And and so that worked for several years, and I paid the artist royalties, and I wasn't true to my tagline, which was a partnership with artists around the world. So more recently, in the past year, we've changed our entire business model to where we actually truly partner with artists, and they invest in their own products. They own their own inventory that is, co-branded with Artovida, and it has their signatures on it. And then we sell into the wholesale channel as well as Amazon, as well as the artist's own websites and the Artovida website. And then we also partner in giving back a percentage of sales to the different causes that the artists are passionate about. So that's a really cool and meaningful part of our project. And so what's happened is that the artists have gotten so much more involved and engaged with the Artovida collective. Well, and I say collective, it's just recently, it's emerged and evolved into this artist collective, which is really cool. And so we have weekly calls, we synergize on different projects and get creative and share wisdom and knowledge. And so we help each other grow as an individual artist and their careers, as well as Artovida as a company. And so here we are now, and this is really fun to enter into this Metaverse or NFT space and see where we can go with this. I'm sure we're going to explore some different thoughts on the whole NFT space in the discussion. So thank you.
Thank you, Troy.
Hello,
Emma's
joining
here.
us.
So Amy, you could introduce Emma and yourself. And I just want to say one thing. I apologize if there's like a crackly sound. I'm in Malawi, and the internet is not great. And then on top of it, there's like a bit of a problem with my speaker today, which may be affecting the broadcast. If it gets really bad, you may see me disappear, and then I'll come back in again. I think that should be okay, right, Amy? Because you're still able to run things. Okay,
exactly.
proceed.
And hear me smiling. That's why the bubbly sound. But yeah. Anyways, so Emma is we know each other. She is you're managing, or you're not a partner, but you work for Aspire Thailand Property, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you are doing real estate buying and selling over 10 million baht.
Yeah, that's
which
correct.
is yeah. Your screen is frozen a bit for me.
It's something wrong. I think what happens is that when this is the first, I'm usually on Chrome, but in order to get into here, you had to have a Safari, the Safari, what's it called, application to get into this thing, and it kind of like squished the camera, like so. So now it looks so awkward. So if I turn this side, I'm gonna be upside down. So yeah, I'm trying to see how to do this. So this is
okay.
better.
I'm actually on Chrome here, so I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it literally crushes the camera on Chrome. I mean on Safari, so I don't know how to do it. But yeah, we're all right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our NFT talk. So Emma, since this is our Ask Us Anything, do you have any NFT questions for us? Anything about the future of art? Please ask away, and one of us will do our best to answer you. So just before we start, all of us are not experts on NFTs. We have been dabbling with it over the past year, and so it is based off of our personal experiences. We just want to say that from the beginning, just so you know.
It's always good to. I think art. That's what's so good about art. I mean, you can just get into all kinds of mediums, and I appreciate that about art. It doesn't necessarily mean like it has to be totally traditional. I like traditional. I'm not a huge fan of going too far into the digital art, but NFT is kind of cool. So you can start by doing traditional, and then sort of, from what I understand, that you could do it what's it called? Like you can translate what you did in handwriting to digital, and then it'll just be a piece of art that you just sell on digitally online. But I mean, yeah, I'm really interested because I do draw. Like I do consider myself an artist on some level. And yeah, I want to see what NFT does for you. I mean, like, can it be on the sideline? Can you actually make money from it? How do artists feel this throughout this time? Like, how does it like contribute to your, because if art is the only profession, it must be very difficult being an art. Now that NFT is out there, it makes your art more accessible to the public, no?
Do you want to take that one first, Amy? And tell us a little bit more about your background?
My background?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. So for me, my background is I've been dabbling, exploring with NFTs since April of last year, specifically on OpenSea platform, which is one of the mainstream platforms that you can use to mint your NFTs, which means upload it onto the blockchain. That's an open source platform that anyone can use. And so you're talking about, can artists make money on it? 100% yes. Will every artist who just puts their NFT out there or very beginner artists make money from it? Who knows? It's about creating a community of people who are interested in NFTs and getting them on your side. I feel like it's almost like starting fresh, because a lot of people that I know who follow my work don't necessarily know anything about NFTs. So it's like kind of getting like a new community to look into your work, to sell it, and also trying to adopt your current community into the NFT space. So it's sort of a combination of both. But yeah, I mean, there's some artists who have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. So can you make money? Yes. It's going to be different for everyone, I would say. Maybe if anyone else wants to expand on what I just said, you guys are welcome to.
Just to echo you, one thing that, I mean, I started even after Amy with the NFTs. I've only been playing around for literally like a few weeks. But what I found is, so making them, no problem. And even I've gotten some inquiries about buying them, but they're not people that normally use cryptocurrency or have a wallet. So there's this whole huge hurdle of like the people who would normally follow my art that would want to buy an NFT have to learn how to buy NFTs. And that's like a bit of a learning curve, and that, like they need the time to kind of learn how to do that. But then meanwhile, if you go on OpenSea and some of these platforms, there are people that are buying NFTs or they're interested in them, but they're not necessarily, they don't know who I am. So like Amy said, you kind of have to like expect, if you're going to start playing around with it, that you're going to go in there as the newbiest of the noobs, and that it's going to be, things that will probably be quiet and obscure at the beginning, but you have time. And as you kind of like get familiar with the NFT community, then you slowly kind of build people that would have a look at your work. What about you, Troy? You also recently started with the NFTs. Good, bad?
Yeah, so I feel like maybe we need to start with a deeper discussion of what the whole metaverse is and the so-called Web 3.0. And that's what really intrigues me. And even below cryptocurrency itself and NFTs is the whole notion of blockchain and that technology and what it means. I feel like the blockchain technology has revolutionary potential in terms of governance models or new ways of arranging value, etc. So that's what really intrigues me. And there's hundreds of different cryptocurrencies, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, and we'll see what becomes of those. And then this whole notion of non-fungible tokens and so NFTs, and within that terminology implies that it's scarcity. It's non-fungible means that there's one of a kind of that item, whatever it is. So therefore, it's non-fungible. And so this notion of scarcity is what gives value to either a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs or whatever some of the other ones are. And I think that's interesting. And that's what adds to the collectability of NFTs and the interest around these different NFTs that are almost like you're collecting Pokemon cards or whatever. And although I've never been into that as a kid or as an adult, the collectible aspects of that, I see why people really get interested in that. And there's true value in these one-off collectible type of items. But for me, the NFT space is much more promise in going beyond just collectible, cartoonish type of characters that you see so predominantly on the OpenSea and other platforms that people they're selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But there's a lot of potential in terms of almost like archiving certain collectible antiques or pieces of art and taking it out of the realms of somebody's private house on display in their living room to making it accessible to the entire world. And so that's what interests me. And I would really, being a newly reemerged artist myself and an analog artist, so I'm a painter and I'm in a world where so many new artists are doing all this digital art. I'm playing around for the first time in decades with actual real oil paint. And so I've created some NFTs recently where I'm taking my analog paintings and turning them into NFTs. And if you understand nothing else about NFTs, the one thing that's really cool is that an NFT serves as a certificate of authenticity for your artwork. So I recommend that all artists digitize their work and put it into the internet and the metaverse, so to speak, and see what becomes of it. And so anyway, what I would hope to do is infuse the metaverse and the NFT space with incredible real art by artists that can make this metaverse a wonderful place, and it's not just a place of gaming and so anyway, maybe I'll
All
stop
right,
there.
Troy.
Yeah.
Yes, let's stop there and let's get to some more questions. Kristen, do you want to see from the questions that were asked?
Yeah, so we got, first of all, can you still hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Troy's
yes,
a
we
little
got.
like soft.
Is it a little soft?
Yeah, from Troy's
Oh, from
microphone,
Troy.
it's
Oh, yeah.
soft.
Yeah, that's what I told you, Troy. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. But I'll play with it.
Yeah, sorry. Well, anyway, the other thing to know is that we're experimenting with this StreamYard, which is a streaming software. So we're still working out all the bugs. So it's all about experimenting. So thank you for joining us, and please do not hold us to levels of perfection. We're not quite there yet. So I have some questions that were submitted earlier. Let me see. One of them comes from Kansas. Hey, it's Michael with this. So okay, let's make this an ArtGate VR question then, since Michael is in the background with his Oculus Prime headset. So we got some questions about what is the metaverse and how are artists using it? How are you experimenting in the metaverse? Can I ask Amy?
sure. So I think it was a couple months ago, I had heard the term metaverse, and I'm like, what in the world is this metaverse? And so I kind of just kept ignoring it. And I was like, ah. And then finally, I went home to New York and I had some time and I started researching it. And I went to like see there's like a Facebook video from Mark Zuckerberg, and oh, he's so good at marketing, because I thought that the metaverse, the way he explained it, where I could actually go into a live concert, was reality, virtually go into a live concert. That's not a thing, by the way. Very good with marketing. So we're sort of like in the metaverse. We're thinking like virtual world where you can like step inside of like almost this virtual future world, but it's still in its like, from my understanding, it's like still in the very like beginning stages. So there's a lot more that can be involved in it, but essentially you can play, you can game, you can work, you can create art in the metaverse. So you can do all these things in sort of this like parallel world. And you turn into an avatar. Like you could be a chicken or a cow, or you could be your own human, and you could be, you know, inside.
But there are no legs. No legs.
No legs.
You're just like
no legs.
You're floating torso.
Floating torso. Yeah. That's my understanding of the metaverse so far. It's very meta.
True. Emma, have you had any experience going in the metaverse, either like seeing stuff or showing stuff?
No, the
Or-
closest I've ever been to a meta universe was what do you call those things on the ride in the amusement park where they have the spaceship and you go in and you're just like putting the camera or looking at a very big
like this
big
immersive
screen.
experience?
Yeah, this is as close as metaverse I've ever been to. Yeah, no, I'm not a gamer. I like things done traditionally. Yeah.
It might be worth mentioning that we have a show, little plug there. We have the Artovida has a show in the metaverse right now, in Artgate VR, which is known as the art district of the metaverse. However, as Amy has shown past week or so, there actually seems like there's other galleries and things springing up that are also parallel to Artgate VR. But we have a show there, and we wanted to just, so I don't forget, invite anyone who's watching this live or watching the recording that you can come at least until the first week of February. But actually, right after this talk, we're gonna all go over to Artgate VR, to our gallery, and just hang out. And I would bring the wine and the cheese, but it's not possible yet, as many other things in the metaverse, especially having to do with food and drink, are not possible yet. But it is nice. At the end of our talk, so like in about 25 minutes or so, I'll show you like a little video just to like that you can easily go into Artgate VR. But in a nutshell, you just go to artgatevr.com, and there's a free app that you can download for your computer, so you don't need to have the headset like my husband in the background is goofing around with. So we do have a headset, but I also have it on my computer. And you go in, you're in a lobby, you press a button to get the menu of the different galleries. You find, the Artovida gallery, and you go in, and our show is there. And this is a show exclusively of NFTs. And why are we having this show? Not necessarily for the normal reasons. I mean, at least for me, it was to force myself to make some more NFTs, which are basically right now animated versions of still drawings and paintings. And we're doing this talk because I wanted to experiment with streaming software. So it's kind of like a kick in the butt to have set up this show exclusively of NFTs. And yeah, you can come and see our kick in the butt if you'd like. Troy, do you want to add anything about your experience with Artgate VR or the Metaverse?
Yeah. So I'm just thinking back to when I was a teenager, I played the game Tron, and I was really into gaming and all that. Back then I thought, wow, Tron is amazing, and it's like virtual reality, but it's not there yet. And so a couple decades from now, it's going to be amazing. And in a way, I feel like we're still not there yet. It's still kind of clunky. And granted, I don't have the headset, the virtual reality headset yet, but you can still go on and experience the metaverse or there you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
This
so
one's
I need to, and I'm sure that's going to be much cooler. I've played around with it in and with some friends VR headsets, and it's really cool. It's still not perfect yet. But it's getting better all the time, and so I look forward
So
to
fashionable too.
yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I can't talk when Amy's distracting me like this.
All right, I'll be
she's a heckler.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be an adult
How much
again.
do those things cost to have one of those?
So the Oculus, what does it go for? A few hundred US dollars, and apparently, because I have
It's
good
come
friend
down.
James
Yeah, it's like 200, right?
who has a company called the VR Guys. Actually, the Oculus, they lose money. So it actually costs more money to create the glasses, but I guess they're trying to create it more like make it more mainstream.
Right.
So really, they're losing money in the end. So we're getting the bargain. But anyways, these ones are from Lazada if you're in Thailand, and I paid 99 baht, which was $3 US. And I mean, they're not so great, but I mean, it's something. Not nearly as good as the Oculus.
Does it work?
Probably won't.
We're getting a comment from Zach. Hi, Zach. Thanks for joining us. Zach is with, if this is the correct Zach, which I think it is with Artgate VR. So thank you for joining us. He'll actually be in the lobby after our talk in Artgate to usher you into our gallery, or at least I hope so. But we'll be there too. And he's left a comment that the Oculus Quest is about $450, which is a lot, but I think it's going to be coming down. Amy, what is yours in US dollars?
3.
Okay. Wow.
Nothing terrible. So
That's quite the. Does it work? Like when you go into our show, are you able to do it?
No, I can't go into Artgate VR with it. It doesn't work for that, unfortunately. But you can put your phone inside and kind of.
Yeah, we had one like that too. What you can do is you can go to YouTube and watch like VR videos that are like 360, and you can kind of look around and be like, "Ooh, I'm on Mount Everest" or whatever, and which is cool too, actually.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's fine. I think it's good that I'm glad you experimented with that. At least we know if there's like a workaround, like besides getting the headset. I mean, I actually don't really use the headset too much. I find right now the Metaverse in its current form, I would say its most impressive feature are like those meditation apps where like you're basically meditating and it's almost like woo, it does all these trippy visuals and sounds and you can kind of get lost in it. I mean, you have to be sitting down or you may hurt yourself. But that's really cool. And I haven't done it yet, but I see that you can have meetings. And as an in-person and online educator, I love the implications of kind of mashing those two worlds together because right now online courses, you don't know if people are watching the videos or not, or if they're playing a game. But if you could go into the Metaverse and actually be sitting down at a virtual table with Zach in Canada and Troy in South Carolina and Amy and Emma in Bangkok. You're both in Bangkok, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bless you. So I just think the implications are great. But like Troy said, the Metaverse itself, it feels like a newborn baby that can't quite hold its head up yet, but it's got loads of potential. But yeah, there's many diapers to be changed first. That's how I would say.
Emma, do you want to ask us another question? We will.
Oh, there's. Yeah, you should have planned more questions, I must say.
Oh, we
have questions.
We have questions, but we have questions planned. Cool. So only if you feel like asking one.
No, I do. I just wish that I prepared a bit more.
Don't worry. This is casual. Don't worry.
No, I mean, it's interesting. Like, okay, so NFTs, like, could you describe a little bit about the process to, like Troy was mentioning, from transforming it from an analog to a digitally art piece. And then what was really interesting, he also mentioned that it becomes, sorry if I understand, it's legit, it becomes yours, right? I mean, copyrighted on some level. From what I remember is that, you know, the when I showed Amy my stickers that I was designing for a particular app here in Bangkok, um you know, I went ahead before and asked the lawyer, how can I copyright my you know, my art or whatever, so that I have it, you know, that it's mine. Yeah, and cannot be stolen or copied, or yeah.
Troy,
This
would you like
NFT
to
yeah.
have a stab at that one?
Yeah, so basically, Emma, it becomes a transaction that is forever and permanently uh, imprinted on the blockchain. So that's a transaction and that's why it goes way beyond art and has implications for new governance models or voting or exchange of value, because it's the blockchain records transactions and it's publicly viewable to anybody that wants to check that out. So it's like a stamp in history and in time. And so in terms of an NFT, it's a stamp of ownership. So if you actually mint your artwork, whether it's your stickers or whatever, you mint that, and you can actually do it for free now. There's a website called OpenSea, and that's an NFT platform, and and that's what I did, and I think Kristen did. You can go and create an NFT using the Polygon cryptocurrency. There's different, there's Ethereum, there's Bitcoin, and Poly.
Polygon?
Polygon is just another cryptocurrency that you can use to mint that NFT for free. And then that piece of artwork or whatever it is you're minting uh, gets imprinted onto the blockchain and is forever stamped into history. And then, so in a way, it sort of is a copyright. It's a certificate of ownership. And then, so you as the artist own that. And then when you make it available for sale, and when somebody buys that, then that transaction is recorded on the blockchain. And so then that becomes a certificate of ownership for that person that buys that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, like, talking about copywriting, so like, as the creator, as the artist, you will always, naturally you own your own copyright, right? Even if you don't actually copyright it. Like, I have my artwork copyrighted in the US, which has a lot of treaties with other places, but now maybe that won't need to be the case because it'll just be on the blockchain. I don't know. It's such a new thing, but like, if you still own your copyright, even if the ownership is changed. So just because, say, Troy buys my NFT, he doesn't gain the copyright. I always retain the copyright. It just changes the ownership. And you can see, as the ownership changes, you can see that always on the blockchain. So it's kind of just like what I understood the blockchain. It's like a database where everything is like in chronological order, where you just have recordings of everything. And so I think the nice incentive as an artist is, say I have artwork A and I sell artwork A to Kristen. And then Kristen decides, I don't want to keep this. I want to resell it. And I want to resell it at a higher price point. I'm going to resell it for $1 million US. Just throwing that out there. Then as the artist, happens. It's just a daily thing. As the artist, I'm going to get a royalty percentage on that secondary sale. Like OpenSea now, you can get up to 10%. So there I go. I just got another $100,000 US in my crypto
Which again
wallet.
happens every day.
Yeah.
Yes, like an everyday thing.
Incredible.
And then whoever bought it from Kristen, then they're like, oh, I'm going to put this artwork up for $5 million. And then there we go. $500,000 US in my crypto. Well, not really dollars, because it's like crypto. There you go.
Do you get a certificate with it? Like a digital certificate?
I think it's just ingrained within the blockchain. Like, I don't think you actually
like
see
part of.
it's like integrated, I feel like. And then with Ethereum, they have smart contracts. So like everything is digitized, and it's like I guess like a kind of online contract where you can approve transactions and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that we all are still wrapping our heads around. It's very meta.
Yeah, actually, oh, go ahead, Troy.
After you, Kristen.
I was just going to say, well, this kind of leads into one of the questions that we got from Luke in Bangkok. So maybe someone you know, Amy and Emma. But aren't NFTs bad for the environment, which is a valid concern? So how do you guys answer that? Are you making the world a better place? Or are you screwing up the planet for future generations making NFTs? Amy?
So I think it depends. So it depends on what blockchain you're minting your NFT on. So minting just means uploading it to the blockchain. So it's just like now it's permanently out there in the cloud or whatever. And so yeah, so like I don't think it's great for the environment, but I think certain chains are better than others. Like Polygon is supposed to be more like eco-friendly and not supposed to consume as much gas. So like when you do a transaction, when you're buying an NFT or you're transferring crypto, what happens is you have to pay typically a gas fee, and that gas fee is like almost like the fuel you need in order for somebody out there in the universe to approve the transaction. It takes gas, literally, and that can fluctuate. And so when that happens, then there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I think that's what can be not so great for the environment. But Polygon, what I've heard, is better for the environment. So I can't really describe how and why so much, but I just know that's what they say, at least, according to my understanding.
I can tell you, I mean, again, I'm coming from a newbie point of view, someone experimenting. I only have made NFTs using Polygon, and I did a little bit of research just beforehand. And from my understanding, please, anyone correct me if I'm wrong, or add in the comments while we're talking or later. But what I read is that Polygon network is 99.9% less energy usage than Ethereum. I can't remember. Yeah, it's quite a big difference. And honestly, even if I had wanted to make an NFT using Ethereum, I couldn't, because I had so much of a learning curve just setting up my crypto wallet. And because I don't know if it's because I'm in Malawi, but Americans abroad sometimes, or anyone living in any country, sometimes I have an American bank account, but if I try to do something, even when I lived in Italy, when I lived in Myanmar, sometimes they see like, you're not in the US. They'll see, where I'm located, and I get blocked. So I was having a bit of trouble even just setting up my wallet from Malawi. And one way that I got around that is by making the NFTs on the Polygon network, which is basically the same thing, but it's free. And it's actually considered the eco-friendly option. So in a way, it was like win-win-win-win-win-win-win. So I've only done that so far. But I don't know, Troy, you made some with Polygon as well, correct?
Yeah, I did. But so that's interesting to learn about. I didn't know that Polygon was that eco-friendly, if it's possible to be so. But Solana is another one that I think is also a lot more eco-friendly cryptocurrency and it can do thousands of transactions per second more than Bitcoin or Ethereum. But an article I've read, I've been diving deep into this whole thing of whether we should or shouldn't be doing this cryptocurrency stuff or NFTs. And one perspective is that even our current monetary system uses incredible amounts of energy, just whether it's the stock market or electronic trading or whatever. So I mean, that's already, and let alone the whole system of capitalism and monetary exchange in itself is bad for our environment. So perhaps this is a revolutionary step forward into an entirely different economic paradigm that would be good for not only our environment, but also our governance systems, et cetera. So that's a whole spiel I'll go down later.
Thank you. I just want to mention, because time flies when you're having fun, but believe it or not, we only got like about 5-10 minutes. Ooh, Stacy's here. All right, should we have a look? Stacy actually did a talk with, we had a show in ArtGate VR last month, and we did a Facebook Live. Anyway, should we have a look at her question, and then maybe we could kind of make our closing remarks, and then we can kind of head over to our show in the Metaverse for anyone that wants to join us there. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
All right. Stacy is saying, so she's a Boston artist. Her work is like weaving and painting and weaving. You should definitely check her out. Okay, so she says, I'm a very tactile artist and I understand the desire to own art objects. I am not sure if I'm tempted to own NFTs. Why would the consumer want to own these digital versions of art? Can you sell this to me? She's playing devil's advocate here. I would expect nothing less. Does anyone want to tackle this one? Why?
I'll talk a little bit. Yeah. So like this kind of question, like it's kind of like, what's the value? It's just online. Why would I do this? And I think it's that the utility is we're going to be incorporating these objects or sculptures that are digital in our metaverse. Like people are already starting to buy like digital land, and you'll have your artwork, like we have an ArtGate VR where we're going to be looking at artwork in galleries. So I think we might be spending a decent amount of time in the metaverse. So I think because of that, there's going to be utility. But I feel like right now, so much like there's not so much like intrinsic utility to NFTs, but it's coming. That's what I feel like. But there's other things like people incentivize, like if you buy an NFT, you get this or 50% off this, but it's still not like intrinsic. So I think the intrinsic is going to come when really the metaverse expands. That's what I think.
I would add, I agree with that. But in addition to that, there's what I alluded to before. I think there's almost an archivalist perspective where we're actually taking somebody's tactile, physical, analog artwork, and where it may be some collector owns that and it's in their living room, or who knows, maybe it's just covered up in a closet somewhere and not visible to anybody and not protected, right? So what if we took, I don't know, let's say a sculptor's piece, a sculpture that an artist has made, and we do a 3D modeling of that. And so you can look around that entire sculpture, and then that's digitized and put on the internet as an NFT. In a way, that's archiving that piece of work for future generations, and also it's making it accessible to everybody, whereas currently that piece is only accessible to that, more often than not, a rich collector's friends, right? So now we're making artwork accessible, we're archiving it and making it, stamping it into history. So I think that's an interesting part of it.
I would just add to that. I know for Troy's NFTs, he actually has bundled them together with the original paintings. So the prices, if I'm not mistaken, are a bit higher because it's not that they're just getting the NFT, but they're also getting the physical painting. So it's almost like an extra. So it's like selling the original, but then they get this digital footprint that shows that it's almost like a certificate of authenticity. So I know Troy's done it that way, and the way I've done it, because there's unlockable content that you can create with your NFTs. And what I've done, mine, again, are just experimental. They're animated versions of my artwork. And I have it where it's not the original that you get with it, but you do get access to the printable high resolution. So you could like print it out. And so there I made the price a bit less because you're not getting the original. The original is separate, but you can contact me if you want the original too. So so that's another way to do it. But then what was I going to say? And then going back to what Amy said, if not right now, but let's say 5 to 10 years from now, maybe less, let's say in the metaverse, you own a meta home and you have meta walls, but your meta walls are looking pretty meta blank. So you may need like some NFTs and some art. And I just feel like also with games, there's like all these games and you get like, you can pay money within the game to get like a special outfit or like a special, not that I'm a gamer, but my sons could tell you, like a special sword or a special gun or whatever. Many would argue that NFTs are kind of going to be sort of like the artistic component to the metaverse moving forward in terms of like having art on the wall. I would love to see like digital murals on meta walls, but who knows? Maybe it's all pie in the sky stuff, but it's fun to think about.
Pie in the sky.
Pie in the sky. Okay, so I'm just going to have. Go ahead, Amy.
Oh no, I was just doing a time check. No.
Yeah. I just want to see what Amy says here. So I don't know if we sold it to you or not. The idea of archive and legacy is tempting to me as an artist, but as a consumer, I agree we are not quite there yet. Interesting though. Oh, okay, good. She's thanking us for answering her question. By the way, so yeah, wow, time flies. This live will be available as a recording, and you can keep answering questions, and we will keep answering you because that's just the kind of people we are. We're just so nice. So don't worry. Well, Amy's not, but we are. Just kidding. Anyway, so we will answer your questions. Did anybody want to say anything, like a quick, 30-second goodbye before I give instructions on how to meet us in the metaverse? And we have to go like this. This means futuristic. At least with Stacy, it means. Go ahead. So, Troy, do you want to say anything before we go? Final thoughts?
No, thanks.
Okay. Emma?
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
Exactly. Nothing to report. Just trying to the instructions of going back into your meta gallery.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to give instructions. I'm seeing a comment from Bruce Hawksworth. Hi, Bruce. Thanks for joining us. He doesn't own an Oculus. He has VR from an old TV series. Wow. VR5, eyeglass, AV. Yeah, definitely there's different companies working on this. We're going to see new releases of different devices and objects and apps and everything moving forward. Let me just give you guys the rundown. So if you want to join us, I'm going to put in the comments here. So it's artgatevr.com. So if you go there, let's see, did it post? Yay. Okay, so if you go to artgatevr.com, you'll see a tab that says downloads. You can then download the app, which is free, for your PC, your Mac, or your phone. You can then go in, and it just takes a little while to load. You go in, and then either, this is very important, I'm going to write it down, press escape or the space bar. I think it depends what version, and maybe Zach can correct me if I'm wrong here, to get the menu of galleries. But also, you'll be in this main lobby, and I think there will be someone there to also help you. You just talk to them and be like, help, and then they'll tell you what to do. But basically, you find the menu of galleries, you put in, you look for Artovida gallery, and then you go in, you wait for it to load, and boom, you're in the show. And you should see, don't be frightened, but there's going to be these disembodied heads floating around with little disembodied hands, and that's our avatars. So if it's empty, if you're the only one in there, you'll only be yourself. If you look down, you'll see your hands, but that's about it. If you have the headset on, you can actually do a lot more, but that's if you're using the app. Any questions before I play the video, which actually comes from Artgate VR about gallery hopping? Okay, Zach says spacebar. I use the spacebar. And then who used escape key? Was it Amy?
Escape.
Escape, but actually you're escaping into our gallery. So there you go. All right, so 1 second. I just have to find now, where did I put my little video to end it? One moment. Video clips. Yay, here it is. Okay, I've never tried this feature before. So I would say, let's say goodbye, and we'll meet you over there in the metaverse. We're just going to hang out, No big deal. You can totally ghost us. You can even, like, if we talk to you, you don't even have to talk to us, but we hope you do.
Do
all right.
you want to show the video?
Yeah. I'm saying, like, we're saying goodbye, and I'm gonna show the video, and then I'm gonna end it. Right?
Okay, so not real goodbye.
Yeah, no, not real goodbye. Just smell you later, as I would say with my kids. Which is totally unprofessional, but that's okay. So bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, Emma, for coming. It's so cool. We got, like, Bangkok represent here. Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Kristen. All right, I'm going to play the video, and then we will see you in the metaverse. Bye.
Hello and welcome to ArtGate VR. This is your virtual reality platform for art galleries in a totally interactive and social virtual space. Today I'm going to be showing you one of our favorite features, which is the ease of gallery hopping when visiting ArtGate VR. First step, to find us, put on your VR headset and navigate in your home menu to the ArtGate VR app. When entering the ArtGate VR app, there's a brief menu showing you how to move and select. Click Get Started and you will be loaded into the ArtGate lobby. I like to change my movement settings by clicking the menu button on my controller and navigating to Settings. There you can see there's options to teleport or a locomotive movement, which I find a bit more smooth for getting around. As you look around the lobby, you will see many different doorways. Each leads to a different gallery space. Gallery hopping can be done by simply walking towards any of these galleries and heading on inside. And again, you'll find yourself in a beautiful ArtGate gallery with so much to explore. Let us know if you ever want to meet up and do some gallery hopping together. Take your time and look around.
Can you guys hear me?
With info panels on the wall beside each
Yeah,
artwork.
we can't hear
and the
it. So,
description
Kristen, do you
of the
have
different
a link maybe to the video
on the
that they can
wall.
just use?
This
at their
doorway at the
own
opposite end of the
convenience?
gallery will take you into interconnected
Very
galleries,
splotchy.
or will take you back into the lobby. Another way to gallery hop is by using the menu. Go ahead and push that menu button on your controller and click on Exhibitions. It's important to wait for this loading bar to appear small like this, showing that all of the exhibitions are loaded up on this search function. The arrows can be used to scroll through, giving a nice menu option of all of the different projects that are current and available in ArtGate. To visit any of these exhibitions,
Yeah, I think we
select
should
from the menu on the left,
just send that
and then
link.
click Visit Exhibition on the right.
It's not, unless it's
Okay,
just
we're
me,
back.
but it's in. Oh, okay, there.
Okay,
I was gonna
so,
say, yeah,
yeah.
it's not
I don't.
playing for me.
We'll have to, like, watch the replay to see if it actually played the sound or not. But okay, I'll meet you over there. Okay. See you in the
Okay.
gallery. Bye. Mwah, mwah.
Gallery.
Toodaloo, toodaloo, toodaloo.
Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Emma, you okay?